When traveling to Paris, some popular tourist attractions to visit include the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, Notre Dame Cathedral, the Champs-Élysées, and many more. The Eiffel Tower is an iconic landmark, built in 1889 by Gustave Eiffel as the entrance arch to the 1889 World's Fair. The tower stands at 324 meters, 1,063 feet, tall, making it the tallest structure in Paris at the time of its completion. It is made of iron and was originally intended to be a temporary structure, but it has since become a permanent part of the Parisian skyline. Visitors can take elevators to the top of the tower, where they can enjoy panoramic views of the city. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the world, with around 7 million visitors annually. The tower also offers several different levels to visit, including the top of the tower, the first and second floors, and the Eiffel Tower's summit. The Louvre Museum is one of the most famous museums in the world. It is housed in the Louvre Palace, which was originally built as a fortress in the late 12th century. The museum contains an enormous collection of art and artifacts, spanning over 9,000 years of history. Some of the most famous works on display include the Mona Lisa, the Winged Victory of Samothrace, the Venus de Milo, and the Code of Hammurabi. The Louvre is also home to many other famous works of art from ancient civilizations, including Egyptian, Greek, and Roman artifacts. The museum is divided into 8 curatorial departments: Near Eastern Antiquities, Egyptian Antiquities, Greek, Etruscan, and Roman Antiquities, Islamic art, sculptures, decorative arts, paintings, and prints and drawings. The Louvre is the most visited art museum in the world, with around 10 million visitors annually. Notre Dame Cathedral is a famous Gothic cathedral. It is widely considered to be one of the finest examples of French Gothic architecture. The cathedral was built in the 12th and 13th centuries and is famous for its ornate stone carvings, large stained glass windows, and impressive flying buttresses. The cathedral is also home to several religious artifacts, including the crown of thorns, a fragment of the true cross, and one of the holy nails. The Notre Dame Cathedral is also famous for its bell towers, which house a set of 10 bells, including the famous Emmanuel Bell, which was cast in 1681 and is one of the largest bells in France. The cathedral was heavily damaged in a fire in April 2019, but restoration works are ongoing. Visitors can still visit the Notre Dame Cathedral, but the access to the towers and the roof is currently closed. The Champs-Élysées is a famous avenue, known for its luxury shops, theaters, and cafes. It stretches from the Arc de Triomphe to the Place de la Concorde and is considered one of the most famous streets in the world. The avenue is lined with trees and is a popular spot for locals and tourists alike to take a stroll or enjoy a coffee or meal at one of the many outdoor cafes. The avenue is also home to the Grand Palais and Petit Palais, 2 famous museums, as well as the famous Lido Cabaret. The Champs-Élysées is also famous for its annual Bastille Day Parade, which takes place on July 14th, and the Tour de France cycling race, which finishes on the Champs-Élysées. The avenue is also known as a high-end shopping destination, with many luxury brands having flagship stores. The Champs-Élysées is one of the most famous and iconic avenues in the world, and a must-see destination for any visitor to Paris. The Arc de Triomphe stands at the western end of the Champs-Élysées at the center of the Place Charles de Gaulle. It was built between 1806 and 1836 to commemorate the victories of Napoleon Bonaparte and the French army. The Arc de Triomphe is 50 meters, 164 feet, tall, 45 meters, 148 feet, wide, and 22 meters, 72 feet, deep. The Arc de Triomphe has inscriptions on the inside and outside walls, including the names of major battles fought by the French army, as well as the names of the generals who fought in them. At the top of the Arc de Triomphe is a viewing platform that offers a panoramic view of the city, including the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and the Sacré-Cœur. There is also a tomb of the unknown soldier under the Arc de Triomphe, with an eternal flame that is rekindled every evening at 1830. The Arc de Triomphe is one of the most famous landmarks in Paris and a must-see for any visitor to the city. The Sainte-Chapelle is a Gothic chapel. It was built in the 13th century by King Louis IX to house his collection of holy relics, including the crown of thorns. The Sainte-Chapelle is known for its impressive stained glass windows. It is considered one of the greatest achievements of Gothic architecture and one of the best examples of Rayonnade architecture. The Sainte-Chapelle is a two-storied building. The lower level was used by the palace's staff and the upper level was exclusively for the king and his family. The upper level is where the chapel resides, with 15 ornate stained glass windows, including the famous rose window, which depicts scenes from the life of Christ. The Sainte-Chapelle is located on the Ile de la site, near Notre Dame Cathedral, and is open to the public for visits. It is considered a must-see destination for any visitors interested in Gothic architecture and history. The Musée d'Orsay is a museum that is dedicated to French art from 1848 to 1914. It is housed in the former Gare d'Orsay, a grand railway station built in 1900. The museum's collection includes a wide range of art forms, including painting, sculpture, decorative arts, photography, and architecture. Some of the most famous works on display include masterpieces from famous French artists such as Edgar Degas, Claude Monet, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, and Edouard Manet. The museum also has a collection of sculptures, including works by Auguste Rodin, Edgar Degas, and Aristide Maillol. The Musée d'Orsay is also known for its impressive architecture, with the museum's central hall, which is a beautiful example of the Beaux-Arts style, which is the main reason why it was chosen as the location for the museum, which opened in 1986. The Musée d'Orsay is one of the most visited museums in Paris, and is a must-see destination for anyone interested in French art and architecture. Père Lachaise Cemetery is a famous cemetery located in the 20th arrondissement. It is the largest cemetery in the city and is the final resting place for many notable figures, including writers, musicians, and politicians. The cemetery was established in 1804 and was named after the confessor of King Louis XIV, Père François de la Chaise. The cemetery is known for its many elaborate tombs and monuments, including the tombs of famous figures such as Oscar Wilde, Jim Morrison, Edith Piaf, Frédéric Chopin, and many others. Père Lachaise Cemetery is also known for its beautiful and varied architecture, including Gothic, Art Nouveau, and Art Deco styles. Père Lachaise Cemetery is a popular tourist destination, and visitors can take guided tours or explore the cemetery on their own. The cemetery is also a popular spot for photography and filming. It is considered one of the most visited cemeteries in the world and is a must-see destination for anyone interested in history and art. The Basilica of Sacré-Cœur is a famous Roman Catholic basilica. It sits on top of the Montmartre Hill, the highest point in the city, and offers a panoramic view of Paris. The basilica was built between 1875 and 1914 as a symbol of hope and repentance after the defeat of France in the Franco-Prussian War and the civil unrest of the Paris Commune. The basilica is known for its impressive white-domed architecture, which is made of travertine stone, which gives the church a bright and harmonious appearance. The basilica's dome is one of the most recognizable landmarks of Paris and can be seen from many parts of the city. The basilica is also famous for its mosaics, including the one on the apse, which depicts the Assumption of the Virgin Mary and is considered one of the largest mosaics in the world. The Basilica of Sacré-Cœur is one of the most visited monuments in Paris and is a must-see destination for anyone interested in history, art, and architecture. Additionally, Paris is known for its fine dining, fashion, and shopping. The city also offers boat tours on the Seine River, which can provide a unique perspective of the city. So, it's no secret, Paris is definitely worth it to visit.